In today's video, I'm reviewing a 2016 Subaru Outback. This is part of the 5th generation model of the Outback that ran from 2015 to 2019. The Subaru Outback's a really great looking SUV and has really matured quite a bit since it was first introduced to market in the late 90s. That original Outback was a little bit quirky and less mainstream than what you see in today's Outback. And the Outback's also grown quite a bit from the late 90s. At that time, it was based off the Subaru Legacy, and it had a little bit more ground clearance and then some other accents that gave it a more rugged look. And today's Outback is really more of an SUV. It's grown quite a bit in size and kind of entered a whole new segment. Still maintains some of the original character of that older Outback in terms of having that slightly rugged appearance. You'll see that with the plastic body molding along the bottom of the rear bumper and fender, as well as the bottom of the doors. It's got the integrated side rails and crossbars, again giving it that look of being a very rugged outdoorsy vehicle. That's really the market that the Subaru brand tries to appeal to. On top of that, the Outback has some nice accents that give it a very sporty look. See that with the rear spoiler above this window. Nice modern design on these tail lights. This is one of the changes that you'll note from the 2014 Outback. These tail lights see a nice update. The other main change that you'll note from the 2014 model is that the Outback saw a refresh up front. New headlight and front grille design, which in my opinion gives the vehicle a much more premium look. Really like the look of this new front grille. And while the Outback has turned into an SUV, it still maintains some of the proportions of a station wagon. So it's a little bit long and low in comparison to some of the other mid-size SUVs. That longer wheelbase translates to really great ride quality and also a very spacious cabin. This is one of the base models of the Outback. So you'll note that it comes with steel wheels and hubcaps, and then the windows aren't tinted. Two things that would need to be changed for me personally, but does allow this model of the Outback to come in at a very competitive price. The Subaru Outback and Legacy are now sold as two separate models, but you'll still notice quite a few similarities between the two vehicles in terms of the front grille, taillight design, and the overall shape of the vehicle, which are still very similar. Also note that this has revised front spoiler and fog light, although this doesn't have the fog lights, but the little insert where those would go. Again, gives the Outback that more rugged look than the Legacy model. In general, a very attractive SUV that gives a very outdoorsy, sporty appearance. Looking inside the Outback, you'll see it's got a really premium upscale look to it with a nice clean layout. For this price segment and this being a base model, it's got a really great look to it. Center dash has been updated for the 2015 model. Some nice revisions here. As far as standard features and options, we've got power windows and door locks, power mirrors, got some storage space built into this door, nice trim pieces, stainless steel there, manual driver seat. On the steering wheel, we have controls for audio, Bluetooth, cruise control, number of other vehicle settings. Nice clean instrument cluster. Center dash, we've got a nice large screen here that is backup camera and then also duals as an LCD screen for audio on the vehicle, and then also some apps. Got AM, FM radio and CD. Climate control with heat and air conditioning. So you got a nice little compartment here for storing items, 2 cup holders, electronic parking brake. Got the X mode and this button here, which allow for some additional off-road capability. Center console is very spacious. Up top, got a compartment for sunglasses, manual dimming rear view mirror. Overall, very attractive interior. I really like these stainless steel accents that you get throughout the Outback. Also got a nice LCD screen here that has the temperature readouts for the climate control system. Gives the vehicle a nice premium look again. Looking into the back of the Outback, you see it's very spacious, a lot of legroom and headroom. It is a real high point of the Outback model. Got a little storage compartment here. Give you a quick view to the front. In this rear seat, we've got a center folding armrest with 2 cup holders. And then the seat does fold down in a 60-40 split. Not quite flat, but pretty close. So very handy for loading in larger objects. See another cup holder built into the door. You got those power windows. And then coming around to the back, likewise very spacious back here. So a really usable rear cargo area, especially with the ability to fold down that back seat. See, we've got a 12-volt outlet. Can also fold down the seat with the use of this lever, so really handy in that sense. And then a little track built in for privacy cover. But in general, very usable space back here. The Subaru Outback comes standard with all-wheel drive and the choice of 2 engines. This has the base 2.5 liter flat 4 with 175 horsepower. They've also got a 256 horsepower flat 6, but the 4-cylinder is by far the best seller, probably due to the very impressive EPA rating of 25 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon on the highway. But with the 4-cylinder, you're going to see a pretty slow 0 to 60 time of 9.1 seconds. So I've got a real love-hate relationship with the Subaru brand. On the one hand, they tend to be very reliable vehicles for the long term. They also have some of the best resale value of any vehicle on the market. They tend to be very outdoors focused vehicles that have really good styling. And then of course, because they come standard with the symmetrical all-wheel drive system, with the exception of the BRZ, they're very good vehicles in inclement weather. And so they're really good for driving in snow and ice and just all season conditions. And then that all-wheel drive system also makes them really fun to drive on curvy roads with dry pavement. And so they're really great vehicles overall. They also tend to have pretty nice interiors and pretty good overall driving feel. Really nice tight steering, and they just feel like they really hug the road because of that symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So despite all those good things, the area that really bothers me about Subarus is that they tend to feel a little bit clunky. For starters, with the 4-cylinder engines, they tend to feel very underpowered. And so if you're accelerating on the highway, passing vehicles, driving over a mountain pass, you'll notice the vehicle is really struggling. And so that's something that really bothers me about Subarus. The good thing is that on the Outback, you can get the 6-cylinder engine. So it's something to keep in mind. Of course, the downside to that is that you lose on fuel economy. So something you got to balance depending on whether you want a vehicle that's going to perform really well or you want better fuel economy. The other thing that just bothers me about Subarus in terms of being kind of clunky is the ride quality. They tend to get quite a bit of road noise, wind noise, suspension is a little bit shaky, and just in general, they aren't as smooth, quiet, and comfortable as other vehicles within the segment. So those are some of the trade-offs that you've got to keep in mind with the Subaru brand. Of course, all those other things I mentioned about Subarus make them really good vehicles, but they're not perfect. So that's a review of the 2016 Subaru Outback. Not the most refined vehicle or the most exciting to drive from a powertrain standpoint, but still a really solid vehicle that's one of my top choices when it comes to a mid-size SUV. With the Outback, you're getting a vehicle that's got a very attractive exterior style, a nice interior that's very spacious with a lot of cargo capacity, decent fuel economy, and then really great handling in all weather conditions. And so it's a really good option for somebody that lives in a northern climate where you have a lot of snow and ice. And then the fact that it's a Subaru means that they tend to be very reliable vehicles. On top of that, they also have some of the best resale value of any vehicle on the market. Really good option to consider if you're looking for practical transportation from point A to point B. If you have any comments or questions on the Outback, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.